player, so it's not as always. I'm not the best guy to sit back and peek rail and such. So I'm like, so as a team, we decided to start rushing when we were behind. You know, we were desperate, so we just started to get really, really aggressive, and that's my favorite kind of gameplay. So as we started to rush the beams, which is where most of the camping was going on, we gained that momentum, and we came back, and we brought that momentum into DM6 the best we could. Pillars for a while was hard to take over, but we did carry, as you were saying earlier, that momentum through.
Very nice. Actually, maybe we need to hire you for match analysis, because I think you hit it right there on the head. Very nice.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I also want to comment on something a little off topic. We actually went through the 2 maps you guys are supposed to play and learned all the location names. And then you guys switched maps on us, so we're kind of like, oh.
Yeah, I heard a comment about that pregame.
I don't mind at all.
Lazy was following you.
I don't mind at all because those maps sucked. So this was far more my cup of tea. Just in terms of
it was fun.
The caliber of Quake that you can get out of the maps that were played versus the maps that, if they had stuck with what was assigned to them, is not even a question. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what we had the idea as well. And if it really came down to the tiebreaker, maps, map 7's a great map. Even though we didn't play that as our first map, I still would have been just as happy to play that map over any other. It'd be better than obviously chemical reaction, but either way, the tiebreaker, it did come down to it. But that's just 7 is still an awesome map.
Now, Matt, if you have any other questions for this actual match, you go for it after this. But I am kind of curious, Gwendol, have you had a chance to play through the newer maps that have been released, like the CTF map?
The newest map. Forgive me if I forget the exact name because
I don't remember either. It's okay.
But I went through and I played it. It's definitely not a CA map. It's definitely a CTF map, by all means. And CTF is not my forte. I'll admit that. I mean, I'm decent at it, but it's not my favorite gameplay. So I am not the best to comment on it. But I will say that the first map they have released is most definitely a CTF map. What I'm curious to see is, we got 5 more maps over the next 5 weeks. I'm curious to see if id Software has decided to, release some quality CA maps as well along with it. If there are 3 main game types, I'd hope there'd be 2 of each for each game type. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I think they sort of opened up with the CTF because I think most players who do play CTF would agree that the complement of CTF maps that are out there, they're just not quite at the same caliber as some of the other maps that are out there. So I think it's a nice fresh move here by id. But I agree with you. I hope that we have, kind of 1 or 2 of each game type, which would make sense. I can't imagine them doing anything else. Hopefully they don't focus on FFA.
No, well, there are plenty of FFA maps out there, but I'm pretty sure they're going to throw a few of them out there. I mean, FFA is a very popular game type. In fact, I feel most of the original Quake 3 maps were designed around FFA in the first place before all of the mods started coming out. Well, it was CTF and FFA. I should correct myself there. But past that, they never, I don't think it really had the idea of CA, or back in the day it would be RA3 in mind, or Rocket Arena 3. They didn't really think about that at the time until custom map makers came around.
Yeah.
And a custom mod. So I think it's pretty cool that they're taking an active role.
Yeah. So, Matt, let's swing it back to the match. Do you have any final words here for our guest?
No, it's pretty much summed it up. I was glad to sort of get the rundown of how the comeback was done. Definitely, you saw that more aggressive play. I mean, when you look through the VOD, I think you'll definitely see it. Sort of the first half of Trinity was a lot of camping, a lot of rails, and the second half of Trinity was a lot more rockets and LG and close quarter battles. So it was definitely enjoyable to watch.
I got a good question for you guys. I'm assuming that once you got your video up and running, was that all recorded? Do you have a website you'd like to plug on that? Because I didn't hear it because I was in the game.
Yeah. It'll be up on quake-live.tv. And
Okay.
if you want to watch, we have the live video that will be up almost immediately after this match. It's pretty much as soon as I type in a couple of bit of details. And then a few days later, high quality video on demand, VOD. And that's available on our site in our media player. So the Ustream stuff, I mean, it's there if you want to watch it, but it's not great quality. It's what we pump out live, and it's subject to all of the frame drops and network connection issues and stuff like that. Whereas the VOD is just a straight capture from my point of view, to a nice high quality video file.
All right. Well, thank you for that information, and a reminder to our viewers.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I've been I was going to say, it's a pleasure to be here. Awesome. It's a pleasure to be here. As is the first time I've ever been live, especially with this many people. I hope, again, someday you guys keep the great work, and I will keep everybody informed.
Oh, yeah. We're not going anywhere. As long as my computer doesn't crash, we're going to keep doing this for a long time. So it was a real pleasure to have you in here. Thanks a lot, Grant.
All right. You're welcome. Peace and love, guys.
All right. Take care. Just want to say, I guess, a quick thank you to all our listeners here tonight, especially listening through all the post-game interview. Doing pre-game and post-game interviews are going to become more common. We actually did have a pre-game interview lined up with the Martyrs. However, there were some issues, so that didn't happen. But we're definitely going to plan to do more of that stuff, as well as have analysis from our staff members come on and give some analysis of the teams and the maps that are being played and all that good stuff. So tune in for that. I have another comment as well about our website URL. For people who are a bit too lazy to type in the full quake-live.tv, you can use our shortened domain quake or qlive.tv for quick access to the website.
Yeah. So yeah, multiple ways to get to the good stuff, folks. And I think on that note, we will call it a night. I want to say thank you to all of our listeners as well. And this will be Grease Scotsman signing off.
Alright, this is Macom saying good night and good night.